Alright, I'm going to show you ways that you can make a one camera shoot interview a lot more interesting. This is a testimony that we shot at our church, and if you look here, it's just one camera. He's talking here, and if we were to play, this ended up being about 7.5, 8 minutes long. If we were to play this, it would be a little on the boring side, not because of the content, but because the shot's the same over and over and over. It's 8 minutes of the same shot, and we just have a simple, this is our stage, and we have a choir back here, but we've turned off the lights back there just to kind of give it a darker background. Not the best of setups, but it's quick, it's easy, it's something I can do during the week on the short amount of time I have. If I want to make this more interesting, here's number one. As you come, I've already edited down the video to where this is just the content that I want. As you come to the next shot, what you can do is insert a video track and pull this video up there, and I've already added a flash transition here, and so
I was baptized.
it looks the same as if anywhere else, but let's make this a little bit different. And you can come here, and this is your entire track control. You can adjust the picture right in there just for that one picture, or I mean that one video, or you can do the whole entire timeline by coming right here and watch this. So now you've moved the video back, given a little bit of a different perspective, and now I would come in, because it looks kind of small, and use the individual track control and just push in. So now we can make this as tight as we want here to a point, depending on the quality of your camera. Now,
Church and here in Lawton. I was baptized with my two brothers. That was the reason I went up front, probably.
so now we have a different perspective, but this black space in the back. So here's what I did. I just went to my browser, typed in background, and there's a nice little background. We'll go to images for a background. You can see them all here. Look at these little backgrounds that are available. Just, you can't sell them or anything like that, but if you're just putting them in a video, just take it. Now this works in Firefox, so if you want to be able to do this, I can just sit there and drag it right into the timeline straight out of Firefox. This won't work on Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, but it does work in Firefox. Or if you have one of those, you can save image as, okay, and just save that, all right, and then drag it into the timeline. But if you have Firefox, drag it straight in there. We'll minimize this. Now we have this background right here. So we have this in here. I'm going to add another track, insert video track, put that on its own track, pull that track below our video here. And of course, when I dropped it in, I had this little button pushed, and that pushed everything over. So we're going to undo that. Actually, I'm going to keep it on so I can pull it back. Put it back where it was. Now I'm going to uncheck. And so here we go. Now we have this background on there, and you've got a little depth on your video. So once again,
I was baptized with
all we did was put this little background back here, and it's only showing from here to here. So when you look at this, the square edges, I don't like square edges that are real harsh, so we're going to add a little cookie cutter, which we've done in previous lessons. Add this cookie cutter. We're going to make it rectangular, and we're going to start feathering it. And so you can see there just a little bit. Take off the edge on it, and now we have a nice little.
I was baptized with my two brothers. That was the reason I went up front, probably.
So now we have a little depth. Lower the quality so we can see that a little better.
I was baptized with
There you go. And so once it gets done with that clip,
and I met Vicky. She's my high school sweetheart.
now here's the second thing you can do. Instead of just see how this one is the same shot as the third shot in the line here, we can go in and push in just a little bit right here. So now you're going to go.
I was baptized with my two brothers, probably.
And we'll skip.
And I met Vicky. She's my high.
And it's different shot, gives you a different perspective, a little closer on the subject there. So what I would do is I'm going through here, I would pick pieces and just simply drag them up to this line. Make sure it has the fade. So
86. At that time, we
make sure that we drag our background back here, and now we're getting all kinds of different stuff. I'd go through here and maybe make this one a little closer like we did on the other ones. Okay, so now you're starting to get a lot of different perspective out of that one camera. And of course, if you had a 3-camera shoot, that would be awesome. You could do like a TV studio, but I don't know how many has the time to edit that or how many have the time to set it up. This is just nice and quick and easy. We'll finish out the little fades here, and that's looking pretty good. I like that. So we've got a lot more video we can go through, but here's another way to make it even more interesting. Let me find the piece that he talks about his church.
and I met Vicky. She was my high school sweetheart. We were Christian ones when I was age 11. I went to Jefferson Baptist.
Okay, so he goes to Jefferson Baptist Church, and that's a church here in town. And so I'm going to add another video track on top. I went out to Google Maps, and I got a picture because I didn't want to drive over there and get a picture of Jefferson Baptist Church. I looked it up, found the address, went to the Google Maps. So I'm going to drag that up there. And I've also got a picture of our church because he mentions our church. So I went out and I had that on my files, and so I just dropped it in here. Real easy stuff. So here we go. So this is the picture. It's kind of a wide picture. So go in here, and we're going to make this more interesting. First of all, it's too wide. It's not tall enough. So all you have to do is right-click, match aspect ratio. Now it fills up your entire picture. But that's not exactly what we want because it just sits there. So what we can do, notice the keyframe right here. Notice the keyframe is at the beginning. Move it to the right. Now you're starting here, and you can see the little Google camera. I guess that is. Maybe that's a mailbox. It kind of looks like the Google camera. It's probably a mailbox. And then you can come over here to the end of the picture, make a keyframe, and move this over here. So now, when you look at it, it's
Church
moving across from one keyframe to the other.
My two brothers, that was the reason I went up front probably. And I met Vicky.
So I don't quite want it that long. What I'd like to do is maybe just show it to right here. Now notice our keyframe moved with us. Now if you move the end, notice the keyframe here. You may have to adjust it just a little bit. Go back in, because if we shorten this or anything like that, it's going to move your keyframe. So pay attention to that. If you shorten it or move it, usually don't have a whole lot of problems here, but here, if you move it in, it could adjust your keyframe more than you want. So now we've got...
I went to Jefferson Baptist Church here in Lawton. I was baptized with my two brothers. That was the reason I went up front.
So it's moving really fast. I'm going to slow that down. We'll go from here, and maybe we want it to move from here to here. And we could even go back to the end keyframe and zoom in just a little bit because we got the sign there. Now...
I went to Jefferson Baptist Church.
Yeah, I like that a lot better.
I was baptized with my two brothers. That was the reason I went up front probably. And I met Vicky.
All right. Now, right here, I kind of like a flash in there. So we're going to go to flashes. We're going to drop down and add a transition. So again...
That was the reason I went up front probably. And I met Vicky. She was my high school sweetheart.
And we're going to want to flash down here to give us a full flash.
And I met Vicky.
All right. That's looking good. Now, he says he met Vicky at First Baptist East. And so we'll come in here and add a picture of First Baptist East. Again, we want to come in, match our aspect ratio to make it completely cover the screen. And we'll do a slight zoom on this to give the picture a little motion instead of it just sitting there. So here we go.
Sweetheart, we went to church there up to the point in time we come and joined First Baptist East in 1986. At that time, we were involved in the church quite a bit. Vicky more than myself there up to the point in time we come and joined First Baptist East in 1986. At that time, we were involved in the church.
All right, so now we have all kinds of different stuff going on. We've got him at a starting position, then we go to a picture, then we come into him closer, and then we have him farther away, but we've zoomed in just a little bit to give more perspective from there. And then we have our church picture, and then we come back to here, and I'd like to zoom in because it looks a little far away. You know, we can zoom in about like that. And now you can go through and just start editing your piece. You have all these different positions and only 3 lines of video tracks. And I usually do maybe 2 different types of lines right here. But this is a simple way to get started. So use pictures, use your track controls, and even zoom in just a little bit on your subject using your keyframes. And here's something cool. One last thing. Let's say you have a really touching point. You can come in here and start out. Let's say he's getting really emotional or something like that, and you want to start zooming the camera. Well, you can come in here and add a keyframe and just start zooming on his face just a little bit, so it adds a little more
Quite a bit. Vicky more than myself. We come to church every Sunday like we're.
And that's so subtle you can't see it, so let's try a little bit more. It's a longer piece here. I'm going to move this over so we can see the zoom on it, and it's the keyframe sitting right here.
We were involved in the church quite a bit.
And you can see the push
Vicky
right
more
there.
Than myself, we come to church every Sunday.
So here you've got a zoom, and that's one more way you can add a little touch. So basically, I've given you about 5 ways you can make your one camera shoot better. All right, guys, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think, and I'll even do a lesson. If you bring up a topic that would interest other media ministers, bring it up. I'll do a lesson over it. Thanks.